Hey, what would you tell a guy that wants to become that wants to begin um, that wants to begin to become a male dancer, a male stripper for the ladies?
Oh God! Right now in this time, you better have a strong mind. Number one, you better have a strong mind and you better have a pretty body, pretty face. But the most important aspect is to have it's a strong, powerful mind. You know, I would tell him to sun gaze, meditate, do all these natural things because he's gonna need it as a force field. Because the dancing world is littered with so many negative energies that pull, vampiric energies. So you have to fortify yourself. Cause we've both been through it. When we've seen people fall to the wayside. I've seen close to 10 people die either through suicide or they've been killed or they have accidentally killed themselves through not being aware and alert. So you have to understand these pitfalls with drugs, with sex, uh, with these drama type situations that you bring yourself into. So yeah, I guess meditation would be the key, man. Meditate and you can go into the world, you can go out of the world and stay intact without you becoming part of the culture that brings you down.
Yeah, it's a very addicting lifestyle because the lifestyle revolves around sex, revolves around money, it revolves around even associating with people in high society, um, man, and then it just becomes a whole big social game where a lot of drama is included as well. There's a lot of people that are very, very sexually insecure. Tons of people, as a matter of fact. That's also another thing too. Um, any male dancer worth his salt has a damn good sense of control over his own sexual faculties and impulses. They have that confidence. They have that strength to tell a woman no, and mean it, and not even feel the guilt trip that follows after that. You know, I mean, yeah, that kind of thing. And of course, yes, there's always those elements that think that they can change that. You know, those kind of people see that as a challenge. You know, it's like, and it just means something to their lives. For that when they want to change something that shouldn't be like that. Even though what is, some people are just what they are, especially what they became, especially if they became male dancers, because that's really a whole nother world that combines Robin Hood and his merry men, um, and more than one Maid Marian, of course, and oh my gosh, let's see, throw in some Benny Hill
Friar John.
and two Pantera home videos. I mean, a whole a whole bunch of intense thrills, that can just happen, you know, very fast in the fast life because sex is just easily accessible. I mean, when you're out there in the nightlife, out there in the nightlife, alone. It's a business, and these are just side effects of the business that happen. We're entertainers. Entertainers have that advantage because they appeal to people. They appeal to people's emotional impulses. Anything that makes them feel really good about themselves just for participating, even as an audience or even as just someone who's around. They like to be around some of these people because of the way they feel. That's part of the addicting personality that that explains the effect of these kinds of people in the lifestyle. Um, Normal people, they see this, and they believe they could never do that. They don't have the courage to. Um, they have another whole belief system where, okay, well, I guess that's good for you, but man, you know, and and it's not for everybody, um, not at all, because because I remember in the past we've encouraged even some guys that are just came straight from the street, just say, hey, yeah, just go ahead, just do it, give it a try.
Fabric so.
Yeah, and there's some of those that just bother us. Hey man, hook me up in a dance game. introduce me, some girls, hook me with the costume or whatever. And there are some of those that actually followed through and did it.
I think dancers are not created. I think they're born. I think you have to have a certain mentality already before you
Yep.
go into it. Those who don't have that and try to get into the business, they fail horribly, miserably. They fall. They get caught up on things that a dancer shouldn't get caught up on. The normal people get caught up on these things, and they don't last very long. We look at him and we already know, oh, he's got about 6 months to a year, and then he's either gonna probably die, or he's gonna fall to the wayside. He's gonna become some kind of sexual or drug addict, or and we always see these people later on somewhere, and we're like, wow, what happened? They're like, oh, this happened to me, and I can't change because it just took me down and it destroyed me, and and they never realize that you can always change at a moment's notice. So, regardless of what happened before, you can use that to prepare yourself to a higher level. But like I said, I really do believe that dancers are born. You have to have a certain mentality from the get-go before you get involved in it. If not, you're not going to make it. And as a result, people look at dancers, entertainers, as almost superheroes. Somebody may laugh at that, but it's really true, because people look at you in awe when they find out you're a dancer. Their whole perspective changes when you, I'm an entertainer. What kind of entertainer? Oh, I'm an entertainer. Then they'll pause, and then they'll visualize, and then they'll look at you again and like, what?
And they want to live vicariously.
And they want to live vicariously through you, man. And that a lot of people attach themselves to your everyday activities. Well, what happened? What happened at this party or at this club? And when you traveled to Kansas, what happened? What did you do? What did you experience?
They always want to ask the same thing. Oh man, how many girls you fuck? How the girls? Oh, did you do that one? Did you bang her? It's like,
it's true, 'cause,
introduce me.
I say this all the time. I say dancers do things, and they get situations, and they get with females that other people would consider to be the highest of the high. And God, I wish I could be with somebody like that. And you're like, oh, that's just everyday life, man. That's just everyday life. It's no big deal. Beyond what you look like, you have to start looking at what they have within too. Because there's a lot of beautiful women, but a lot of them are traps. Because that's all they have is that outer shell. They're real dark and dirty and evil on the inside. So,
yes, that's also another thing too. Lots of men are easily distracted by external beauty. Maybe a certain angle in the woman's makeup on her face or whatever. Maybe the way, the shape her skinny jeans make, or whatever. But most often we're always distracted by what she really looks like in the morning.
oh God, that's the truth.
Yep.
That's the god awful truth. When you find out what they look like or what it looks like in the morning, then that's if you can live with that, then you're good to go. But normally what they look like at nighttime and what they look like in the morning is two different things.
Yes, and it's one thing too. Also, just to be completely detached about it. It's like, okay, cool, you look good. What else you got? What can you offer me? What kind of personality do you have that makes you worth the company? That makes me even want to think about dating you? What can you offer me?
Yeah, the women that are truly beautiful within and without, once you speak to them like that and realize you're not just hypnotized by their outer beauty, they're really, really amazingly attracted to you from that point on, because you look beyond the superficial.
Yep. I mean, it's the same way like when a man can look at a woman and say, listen, I want you, but I don't need you. Say no to me now. It's no big deal. There's always someone else that'll say yes. And having the balls to say that and look at her straight in the heart in the eye about that, oh, of course, it might appall her. It might even piss her off. But you stood your ground. And you let her know, hey, you can take it or leave it. Something does that. Something makes them feel that. You dig?
There's power. There's definitely power in being able to take something or let it go without having an attachment to it. Even though you really want it, but you can't really let it go. There's an amazing power to have that ability, because once you attach yourself to a specific want, it consumes you. You become a slave to it. You know, you try to get it by any means necessary. You know, and when you can just let it go, it comes to you of its own accord. You know, that's the amazing power of letting things go. They come back to you of their own accord. So you really do end up getting what you want, but you don't have this powerful attachment that brings you down to it. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. Oh, another thing too. A big common thing that happens in the lifestyle. Some of us end up in relationships, or some of us were already married before, or already in a relationship before, with our mates saying that they understand, and with as much promises that we could distract them with, saying, "Hey, look, I'm making this much money, that much money, or whatever." Um, the big thing, the big issue is always going to be about the sex. For example, I've had I don't know any girlfriend I've been with, that hasn't accused me or suspected me of cheating on her when I was in a relationship with them, and that's a whole nother story. I mean, when those issues come up, I mean, they're like, it's like, well, why are you talking to her? Well, why is she texting you? Or who is that on your profile? Or why did you like my comment? You know, all this other drama that goes on online. Anything that they can use, any angle that they can use to secure some kind of hold because of what you've given them. You give them an inch, and they want the whole ruler. And they want everything. They want
The whole hypnotic.
Hypnotic.
The whole Bobby Adonis. Too much. Too strong. Too black. Too strong.
14.
I don't know what he's talking about.
14. But yeah, that's a big thing about this lifestyle. Jealousy, the envy. When a guy gets overwhelmed by too much of it, sometimes it makes a guy feel really burnt out about being in a lifestyle because of it. It's a big emotional thing, and it does affect most of us, because it's messing up our money. We gotta make a living here. I mean, not everybody does it, and it's not for everyone, but but if it's for you, you gotta have a whole lot up here to have this and this to be able to stand through it, because there's a whole big mass of people out there called a society that will look for any excuse, anything to say to you about why it's wrong that you gotta do this. Even if you're a good-looking man, even if you got a nice body and you're pretty, and they're gonna say, "Oh, you can't do that forever," or "You can't always look that good," And it's not even about the future, because this business is about the moment. It's about what you can do at that time while you're doing it. It's never even about a plan for securing a future from it, because I'm happily retired from it, and he's almost working on it.
I'm like 99%. Gig will come up every once in a blue moon. I'll pick and choose if I want to get the quick cash, but my heart's not in it anymore. But I was gonna say one thing that people always crack me up with, especially guys, but even some girls that say, "Oh, you're a male dancer. Most of those guys are gay." Then they'll look at you side-eyed like they're trying to insinuate something. I start laughing like, yeah. If it's a guy, I'm like, yeah. Your girlfriend's probably had a dancer, or wanted to be with a dancer, or stalked a dancer while she was making love to you, was probably thinking of a dancer. I said, so, you're just shooting your insecurities at me. And females have issues too with dancers, because we're basically doing what they're doing naturally. And they don't like that. It's a guy here that pretty much has the mentality that females have, that they can control the environment around them just based upon what they look and what they do. And that's something that a lot of guys don't do that. Women do naturally because they pretty. You know, people look at them and treat them different because they pretty. And that's how
Basically.
dancers are. You know, we walk around like we pretty, and so we get treated as such also. So it's all about a mentality. Mentality is everything. Of course, you got to have the physical tools to be a dancer. You can't look like a certain head bouncer at a certain bar in Montrose, and you know, you got to have a physical appearance. You got to look the part too. But more importantly, you got to be mentally focused and in tune to be able to operate on that level. And it's a higher level. People can say what they want, but I mean, how many male dancers are there in the world? It's not. It's probably less than 1/10 of 1% of the world. Probably less than that. So we're a very, very, very rare breed to even to exist and to function and to prosper on that level, and then to walk away from it and still use that mentality and that energy to go forward in life. It's pretty cool. So, you know, we can both pat ourselves on the back. We've been there, and we've walked away from it.
Does
And
it tell?
we're still benefiting from our experiences immensely. So I love it. I ain't gonna lie. I love it. I wouldn't have traded it for nothing in the freaking world.
Yeah. Oh, another thing too about the myth that all male dancers are gay. It's true that some of them are, but it's not because they're dancers. We're there because of the money. It's good, that
It's all
good.
about the money.
It was that
Yeah.
great then. But no, that myth is just perpetuated by females that were rejected by one dancer or another. So she goes, "Oh, he's gay."
Insecure guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you whatever you are when you got into the business is what you are when you get out of it. If you were straight, then you're straight. If you're gay, you're gay. Now I'll say this: when you're a dancer, those worlds intertwine. That don't mean you have to become those worlds, but you know, the gay world and the straight world intertwine, and you intermix with all these different type of personalities. I've been exposed to so many different types of people and cultures as a result of dancing, man, and my mind is so open. It was open before, but it's even more open now because I've come in contact with so many people. And then when I come across people who are homophobes or racist, it's funny, you know, or they're racist toward a religion. It's hilarious because I'm like, they just don't know. They just haven't been exposed to it and refuse to open their mind to the possibility that these people are human and that they're the same soul as they are, you know,
Oh yeah, basically.
basically. So, you know, I don't feel sorry for people that are closed-minded. I'm just like, you know, you're my brother. You're just not there yet. You know, you're not there.
Yeah, it
You're not using
happens.
your gifts, so that's cool.
I
Whatever.
mean, it happens. Every person has their own level of output or belief on how things should be or are supposed to be because
Yeah.
because it was how they were raised or whatever. I'm not saying that they're all wrong. I'm just saying that that's how they just grew up to think that it's right. You know, and I'm not saying that they can be corrected or not or whatever. That can always be worked around. I mean, people still have the capacity to be able to learn better and to be able to change just because it just makes sense too. You know, not just because someone tells you to, but because you know it. You know, basically.
Basically.
Oh yeah.